Hey everybody, Eric Schweitzer here from The Gamer. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite game. Joined today, you know him, you love him, George Foster.
Hello.
And The Gamer's editor-in-chief, Stacey Henley.
Hello, hello.
No cute nicknames today because we started an hour early, and that's the hour I use to come up with your nicknames.
An hour well spent.
Today we are discussing your favorite game with mini games, and if there was ever a topic to get cute with, I think it's this one, because what isn't a mini game? Am I right? I mean, we just recently talked about QuickTime events. Are those mini games?
No.
well.
Actually, you know what? I'm not even talking on the front of QuickTime events because apparently I was wrong about that. So move on.
I don't know. The cadence of that was like that debate when it's Jordan Peterson and Richard Dalton's arguing about whether fire is a predator.
That was the first thing I thought of too.
I want to veto Mario Party. I want to veto that. That game is a mini game. That everything about that game is to do with mini games. I don't think that counts. I think
define the mini game for us, George.
A game within a game that is not the central subject of a game. So if your central subject is mini games, then I don't think it counts.
I haven't picked a Mario Party one, but I did think of a few Mario Party ones, and I feel like you could make the argument that the central mechanic of Mario Party is the board games.
But that's the shit bit. No one likes that bit. No one being me. I speak for all, apparently. But I've personally vetoed Mario Party then, and if anyone mentions it, I'll roll my eyes as such.
I did struggle to come up with, not to come up with minigames, I had a lot of them, to come up with ones that I felt really sold the idea of a minigame, because the best ones tend to be more involved, and the ones that are more involved, then do they become kind of side quests or like recurring missions or like activities and things. So I've landed on one that I think I'm not even sure counts, but I've got a couple of these definitely count backups. So
yeah, I had a bit of a crisis of definition with this one too, because at what point is it a side quest or a game mode versus a mini game? And I think for me I just kind of honed in on the mini aspect of it. If the percentage of the game that is small, then it's a mini game. And I think Mario Party counts because all of those games are 30 seconds long.
There you go. That was my eye roll. You can have it again later if you mention it again. I just think that's too easy. I'm sure this will come back to bite me in the ass when I choose something that's like stupidly obvious, but I think that's too obvious.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
There's hundreds of them.
A Mario Party game, George. Mm-hmm. And I was going to ask you your favorite, but we'll skip it if it's going to offend you. That's fine.
To be honest, I'm not even
I'll never talk about Mario Party again.
Good. It's never been for me. I don't know. That's not even a bias thing. As to
you don't even like Mario Party.
You don't like Mario Party as a concept.
I'm
not big on it. But.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll never talk about Mario Party ever again on this show. Don't worry. Since you're the most passionate, George, why don't you start us off this week? What's your favorite game with mini games?
My favorite game with mini games is Super Mario 64 DS. There's a swing.
We're so close. We are so close to Mario Party with your choice. It's unbelievable. We could not be closer to Mario Party with your choice.
As I started making my argument, I was like, uh-oh. But they are the point. They are the point of Super Mario 64 DS. But what made them stick out to me is I was thinking back on it. I'll mention some of the other ones later, of course. What game had mini games that kept me more interested in the main game itself? What did I spend more time in than like the central point of that game? Mm-hmm. And for me, it's Super Mario 64 DS, without a doubt. I am young enough that was my introduction to Super Mario 64, which I'm sure will piss both of you off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know about the legacy of it all. Like for me, it was just a cool game on the DS.
Yeah.
Which now I hate myself a little bit. But basically in that game, if you collected these rabbits running around, which I believe were new to the DS version.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they had the purpose. You could catch them in the original, but the purpose was in the DS.
They stole the egg thieves from Spyro.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
I love the egg thieves.
So the mini games there's like so many of them. I think there's 8 per character, and some of them are pretty simple. It's like connect the character faces, or there's like puzzle sliding ones. But then there are some really cool ones like Mix a Mug. So it's one where you have like a roulette wheel of like character faces, and you have to press A to stop them to create the character face.
Yeah.
Wanted is a really good one. So you get like a poster that pops up. It's like you'll have Wario's face, and then you have to find his face in between like a moving crowd of faces. These sound these are really good in the moment. Trust me.
Yeah. No. I am fully with you. I do love the Mario 64 DS mini games.
I'm sure you know the one that I'm going to say next, Eric. The Luigi Poker.
Luigi Casino?
Yeah, Luigi Casino.
Oh, Luigi Poker. Right.
Well, you had all of them. So there was the slots, you had roulette, poker, and it's kind of wild to me now to think that Nintendo would ever have anything like that in a Mario game.
Yeah, they took it out of Pokemon.
It wasn't the first time. I was about to say, I learned all about gambling from Mario 64 DS for sure. It is weird. It is weird to think about. It is weird,
especially because it was like explicitly a casino as well. Like I know
Luigi is dressed like a dealer.
Yeah.
Are you too? Sorry, go on. Just. Are you too young to remember that Pokemon had a casino? Is that what you're telling us? You don't remember that was a thing?
Now you've said it, I'm kind of like, I have like
a
vague recollection,
okay,
but I'm also not a big Pokemon guy. But yeah, my favorite of the Luigi ones was it was just a memory match one, because I still don't really understand poker to this day.
Well,
I don't really get it.
So
you're gonna hate one of my picks.
There's so many touchscreen things going on in there. In the one you're describing, you have to use the tip of your stylus and touch the correct face hiding in the crowd. But what about like the trampoline one where you have to draw in the trampolines for all the Marios to bounce on? Or there's like a pipe game where all the different all the characters are moving along pipes and they're all like twisted together.
Oh, and there's like the piranha plants to the star.
Oh yeah,
and you have to draw in new routes to connect them all.
Yeah. Do you remember the Yoshi Love Me Not one?
Where he's pulling the petals off of the flower?
Yeah. I had no idea how that worked. I was young, for the record, but like I try and game it. I'd be like, if he picks this one next, it'll be this. And yeah, I spent so many hours on that thing, and it is literally just a press A to get a defined outcome every time. It's so stupid, but
it's funny to think of what a technical marvel that game was. Because I remember being blown away that they got an N64 game on a Game Boy, But
for me, I didn't have the legacy of it. It just was what it was. But that's where I fell in love with like 3D Mario games. Really, like I played the main game a bunch. Like that game is special to me for a lot of reasons. But like the mini games were probably the biggest time sink. Like as I've described them, they all sound so like simple and like a few minutes each time, but I loved them. They were great.
The original one didn't even have all the characters.
No, I know that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I know that now. Like, obviously, I've gone back, but
yeah,
at the time, clueless.
Good choice. Practically Mario Party, but yeah.
Nah.
I love the qualifier that you didn't know how Love Me Not works because you are a child, as if it's not definitionally a children's game.
Hey, my knowledge is patchwork. Okay, I know a lot of things.
Some mature themes, right?
In different areas, they connect sometimes. Okay, Stace, what is your favorite game with mini games?
So as I said, I went for one that's probably a little bit bigger, but I've gone for it because it's my favorite as opposed to some of the smaller, definitely minigame ones. And that game is Saints Row the Third. And the minigame is the Genki Bowl, the super ethical reality climax.
Yes.
The murder game show, people who aren't familiar. Throughout Saints Row, you get invited to a series of game shows by a mad professor dressed as a cat in sunglasses called Professor Genki. And you go through... Do you have Takeshi's Castle in America, Eric? Is that a thing you guys have?
No.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Takeshi's Castle, it's Japanese. The version we have is Japanese. We just have English commentary over it. It's kind of like Ninja Warrior if everything was insane.
Right.
It's kind of like Wipeout, I guess, would be another way.
We do, but
British as well.
It has a different name. Oh man, what is it called? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, but we have a totally different name for it. I'll think of it at some point.
Okay. Well, Genki Ball was basically like a Takeshi's Castle style game show, except you ran through it with a machine gun. You had to kill different. You weren't really sure if they were volunteers or slaves or why they were there. But
most extreme elimination challenge. That's what we call it.
There we go. That
MXC.
is more fitting, I think, for Genki Ball as well. And they were dressed as furries, or they were dressed as like girls in bikinis, or any random array of. Some of them were dressed as Genki, some of them were dressed as you. They would wear your head as a mask, or Johnny Gat's head as a mask.
Oh, yeah.
And you just had to go through and kill them. And there'd be different things like, oh, this one's the money shot, and that was funny at the time. And there'd be don't kill the pandas, because it was funny.
We all just
had the penetrator as well. The penetrator was the weapon from Genki Ball. Yeah, just really strange, crazy, wild. I loved when Saints Row let itself be silly. I actually don't mind 4. It's not even true. I really like 4. I like the kind of wacky direction that it went in. And I think Genki Ball is just a big part of the things I love about Saints Row, that it moved beyond kind of what if we were GTA but South Park, which is kind of what the first 2 are. They were still quite grounded, but they just had like other funny stuff in, like spraying garbage trucks at houses and things. But yeah, Genki Ball is just completely its own. We're going to be colourful and crazy and weird and unpredictable. And yeah, they bring it back. There's car races in the DLC for it, and then there's more stuff for it in 4, and you can like hunt Professor Genki in the map. I just really, really love when Saints Row is at its silliest. But it's kind of a side quest. There's like several of them on the map. It's not that different to climbing a tower in a Ubisoft game. You know, it's like a map marker thing. I don't know if it's fully a mini game. It's a completely different type of mode. That's its own thing. So maybe it is. But I think it stretches the definition a little bit more than some of the other ones that I was thinking of.
I mean, so I'm not familiar, but when I was looking into this is one that came up a lot on like lists of best mini games. So a lot of people do consider it. That's
good.
A mini game, but I can see why you're on the fence about it. It is similar to my choice.
For the record, I have my own. I go to like my Xbox and PlayStation. I just go through the games that I've played, like the trophies and achievements that I've got from other things, and I look at different lists. And I will say, a lot of the lists had Mario Party on for best mini games. But in George's defense, I read them and I went, I don't entirely think I want to pick a Mario Party game.
I just think it's obvious. I know mine is.
I wouldn't have opened this show with "it doesn't count" and I'm leaving forever if you mention it. But I did kind of go.
Set ground rules.
Oh my gosh! I said I would never bring it up again, and I lied. I'm going to bring it up constantly.
I actually, Stacey, to your point though, Saints Row is like a perfect example, because I would say that most of the side quests in that, like where you find the line between minigame and side quests, I'd say most of them are minigames. Like I almost chose Insurance Fraud as my number 1.
Yeah, pick. Insurance Fraud's a great one with a ragdoll. Yeah. The one in 2 where you like rode around on a go-kart. It wasn't a race. It was like you had to crash into things.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how it worked. And there was the one with the tank in 4 where you had to blow like enough things up. It was like a Burnout parody, but you had instead of crashing into things, you had to like blow. Mass Destruction, it might have been called.
Yeah, something the vehicle ones always lost me. Like I know there's some helicopter ones.
Helicopter was the same one. You just had to shoot things.
You had like the digital world ones in Saints Row the Third, right?
Oh, I love that you turned into a toilet, and that was funny at the time as well. A toilet that quoted Macbeth. That was Nightblade and the bloody Countessa, bloody Countess.
That's one of the things Saints Row does best, I think. Like the minigame side stuff.
And I love that it's kind of like defined Saints Row's identity.
Yeah, I think that's what people think of.
Yeah.
Right, until the end.
We'll see. Never say never in this crazy industry.
Never.
Great choice. Great choice both. Let's see if we can get 3 great choices.
Eric, what is your favorite game with mini games?
My favorite game with mini games, my favorite mini game, I should say, is the Chao Garden from Sonic Adventure 2.
Of course.
I was never going to pick that, but
I got a groan out of Stacey. We're off to a good start.
That's usually me.
It's just
on
using
the
Kingdom Hearts.
On the fence about, we'll get back to Kingdom Hearts, I promise. On the fence about the Chao Garden, does it count as a mini game? Is it a separate game mode? Is it? It's such a big part of the game. Ultimately, I decided, well, the Chao Garden has mini games, so right, it's got like the Chao racing, and so it counts because even if the Chao Garden itself is not a mini game, it has mini games in it. I adore the Chao Garden for so many reasons. I know a lot of people do. I was a big Tamagotchi kid. I brought that little guy to school with me. When I got in trouble for playing with it at school, I made my mom babysit it while I was at school. She let it die. Yeah. I think it's a really cool evolution of that sort of like simulated pet thing. But more importantly, I think what's so cool about the Chao Garden is the way that it incentivizes replaying the main game. As fascinated as I am by speedrunning, I am not the kind of person that likes doing time trials or replaying levels to get a better time. It just doesn't. It's just not that compelling to me.
I know that's strange because like we've discussed speedrunning before. I don't actually do it on the show, and I don't really get speedrunning as a spectator sport, but I do love time trials and things. So it's maybe they're not as related as we think.
Yeah, the opposite both, for me. So. I don't like doing things I've already done unless there is a good reason to, and just getting a better time isn't that. But the Chao Garden gives you an amazing reason to replay a level because every time you play, you're getting resources and items that make your chows better, make them grow up, improve their stats, and there's a really cool meta progression that ties the main game into this Chao Garden minigame that I think is so clever and then no other game has ever really done. I mean, I shouldn't say no game, but it feels like such a revolutionary idea to be like, and every time you replay a level, you're actually progressing in this other game mode. And that's not something that has become like, nobody took that idea and ran with it.
No,
Sega definitely didn't.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Shots fired.
So yeah, that's why I love it. And I love collecting the animals. I love that the collectible is like different kinds of rare animals, and you've got like common animals like skunks, and you've got like special rare animals like unicorns and robots and stuff. I just think that's such a cool, and the way that when you give the animals to the chows, it changes their appearance and you can customize them with different features from different animals. It's all so cute. It's all so fun. I love the Chao Garden. What happened to the Chao Garden? Bring back the Chao Garden. What are we doing?
People do say that a lot. Every time there's a new Sonic, people do want a new Chao Garden in there.
It's so good. It's so cool.
I never really got it. I think because Sonic Adventure 2 was kind of past my time as a Sonic fan. So when I revisited it, it was kind of just to play the main game. So I never really bothered with it. But I'm sure if you approached it as like when the game released, you'd be fully invested in it. So
I mean, that's what keeps you playing. Sonic Adventure 2 is 10 hours long, maybe, you know? And that's what keeps you playing that game for years. Like that people are still playing Sonic Adventure 2. And the Chao Garden extends the life of that game so much and is a big reason why it's so iconic. Because a lot of that game is not good. I mean, there's like you know that the like between Sonic and Shadow, there's like 4 levels. That's it.
Really?
Did you know that? And then the Eggman and Tails levels are terrible.
Oh, they suck. Yeah,
they're awful.
Do. Yeah.
Yeah. Each of the different like pairs have like 4 levels total.
To be honest, that's the case in every Sonic game. As soon as you're not playing as a hedgehog, it just kind of. And Stacey's like, it's already. Woo,
I don't love. There's some Sonic games that I like. I'm not a Sonic fan. No, too many misses.
I love him.
Too many misses. Fair, yeah. Okay. I have so many more that I want to talk about. But before we jump into that, can I interest the two of you in another quiz?
Oh, yes. Go on,
You
then.
feeling
We did
quizzy?
terribly
That
last
went
time.
so well last time.
Yeah. You know what? It was too hard. I recognize that. I got a bunch of just blank stares with my questions. So I've made it a lot more approachable this time. The quiz.
That's
the topic of the
what you want to
quiz.
hear.
The topic of the quiz is easily my favorite video game thing of all time, which is games that have board games.
No.
I love this.
What did I say?
board games and card games, video games with a tabletop diversion is just like my favorite thing. They're often more fun to me than the games themselves.
I had a few of those written down.
Yes. So I've got 15 games. I'm going to tell you the name of the board game, and you tell me the name of the video game. Now, these are all well-known, if not popular games. You may not have played, both of you, all of these, but you are for sure familiar
We've heard
with
of all 15
of
of
these
the games.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, there's no trick questions here, okay? So
Maybe.
I promise there's no trick question here. So first one to shout out the name of the actual game gets the point.
God.
And I'm going to keep track this time. All right? Are we ready? 15 games. First game, Gwent.
The Witcher 3.
Witcher 3.
George really snuck in there. Oh God, I love Gwent. We're not going to pause and deep dive into all these, but what a game Gwent is.
Revisit, yeah.
Yeah, because I want to talk about Thronebreaker a little bit. Okay, next one, Hollow Tactics.
That's Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yes, that's one for Stacey.
Game
Next.
George, big George game, that.
Well done. Queen's Blood.
That's Final Fantasy VII. Yes, it is.
One for George. Fort Condor.
Also,
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I think Stacey was that. I think that was
Stacey said Rebirth, so fair.
Yep. Command Board.
And
Oh,
board.
God. Why is that
Command
super?
Board.
Is that perhaps also a different Final Fantasy?
It is not.
No.
Is it
very
Kingdom
much.
Hearts something?
Can you be more specific?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
No, Birth by
Nope.
Sleep.
Yes.
No.
Yay!
Fair one for George.
Stupid name.
Machine Strike.
Horizon Forbidden West. Boom.
Yep.
I only remember good games.
Sure love Machine Strike. We're tied up 3-3. Next, I'm going to say this wrong. Pazak.
Zach. Don't know. I haven't got that one written down.
Give us a clue.
Is it a JRPG?
Not a JRPG. An RPG. A Western RPG.
A Western.
Dragon Age something?
Zach. It's not one of the weird Assassin's Creed games, is it? Because
Nope.
they have a few others.
Mass Effect something?
No.
It is not Dragon Age or Mass Effect, but you're in the right.
Oh no.
The right area. Is it a BioWare game? It's not Jade Empire or Anthem.
Oh boy, name one other BioWare game.
Is it
Neverwinter
Knights of the
Nights?
Republic?
George got it.
Oh,
It is Knights of the Old
of course they
Republic.
did Knights, yeah.
Okay. Easy one. Xenocards.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yep.
Sure.
Well, it had Xeno
It was in the name. No, I know. It's easy
It could have been
to answer.
Xenogears, I guess.
Caravan.
Oh my god.
I've
that's
played Caravan, the game. Oh my god, what is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't come out in the last couple of years, right? Am I
Nope.
on the right line? No.
Is it Red Dead Redemption?
Probably the oldest one. No, not the oldest one on the list. It's not Red Dead Redemption.
That is like back of my head. It's not something I played, but
I'm
people have
surprised.
said, want to play Caravan? Oh, what the
I'm surprised neither of you can remember this one.
something we like then, Stacey.
Caravan.
Another an open world RPG.
Fallout?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Oh, is it Fallout
New
3?
Vegas.
It's New Vegas.
I'm a god when I'm told half the answer.
George is at 6 points to Stacey's 3. How about Table Turf?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, how about table turf?
Table turf. Don't recognize that at all. I just didn't ring a bell.
This is a Nintendo game.
Oh, God.
Kirby.
This is a Nintendo Switch game.
Astral Chain.
I think George reviewed this game.
Did I?
I think that might throw you off.
That might throw us off because he didn't. Yeah.
I don't know.
The little gator game.
This is the third game in the series.
Third game in the series that launched for the Nintendo Switch.
This is a multiplayer game.
I feel like you saying that review is totally
like
whiffed this question for me.
This is a multiplayer Switch game, and it's the third one.
Splatoon 3!
Splatoon 3.
No,
Yes.
I did!
He did review that.
Damn.
All right.
No one I'm a fan of.
How about Triple Triad?
That's Final Fantasy
Eight.
10?
8. George said 8. Very famous one. Orlog?
That's Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
It is, yes. Big Orlog fan, Stacey?
I reviewed that, so I played quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pre-Gamer Days. One of the last reviews I did not for here.
I believe we're down to the last 3 here. It's anyone's game. Next one, Rage Frenzy.
Rage Frenzy.
Mad World?
Nope.
Damn.
I don't know, God of War? One of the many God of Wars?
No, but you're honing in on the title, and that's a good direction. Rage Frenzy.
Rage.
Um,
Why can't I think of a single name?
I
A game with the name Rage.
Can you hone in on the first word of Rage Frenzy?
Rage.
it's not just going to be the game.
George, are you guessing Rage?
Yes.
The
yes, I
video
am.
game Rage.
That's correct.
Jeez.
I thought you said these were well known. That one.
Rage?
Rage is pretty well known. Yeah, I'm just annoyed by it.
Yeah.
I forgot Rage exists.
Okay. The last 2 might be the hardest. I mean, Rage Frenzy is hard, except that Rage is in the name.
Okay.
How about Joustus?
Joustus.
Joustus.
This is not another repeat. It's from the game Joust, is it?
No. No, there are no mini games in Joust.
In Joust, yeah.
Joust is a
ostriches.
minigame.
Maybe
it's going to be a night thing, right? Let's Kingdom Come Deliverance.
indie game. Well, I guess that is an indie game.
Yeah, but it's a big indie game.
Indie game. One of the most successful indie games of all time.
Stardew Valley?
It's not Hades.
This is a pixel art. This is a modern game with a pixel art aesthetic.
Hollow Knight? No, not Hollow Knight. The other one, Shovel Knight?
Not Hollow Knight. Shovel Knight, yep. Shovel Knight, King of Cards. And the final one, Sky Stones.
Oh, God.
Sky Stones.
Now,
is this continuing a pattern and it's Skyrim?
Not Skyrim. I'm not going to make you give me the exact entry. If you can just tell me the series, I'll take it.
Skies of Arcadia.
Because neither of you have played this, but you both are familiar
StarCraft.
with it. Not StarCraft.
Was Sky a clue?
There are 5, maybe 6. I think there's 6 games in this series.
Okay. We've not played. Neither of us have played them.
And they did one a year while it was around.
One a year.
And the second game has Sky Stones, which is a collectible card game.
Skylanders.
Skylanders is correct.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations, George. You won by 3 points. Well done, everyone.
That's what they call a home run.
Any of those to circle back on? We definitely have to talk about Gwent. Gwent becoming its own game is pretty unique. And in fact, not only was Gwent its own game that was a living live service card game that went on for some time, but also it got maybe my favorite Witcher game, Thronebreaker. It got its own narrative like RPG spinoff with the best Witcher story of any of them. Did neither of you played Thronebreaker?
No.
I'm sure it's
I don't
so
even like
good.
Gwent. I got to be honest. Any card games go straight over my head. So anything like that.
So what's cool about Thronebreaker is you're not just like playing matches of Gwent. They're all like puzzles that use the mechanics of Gwent, and you're building your decks over time by like beating bosses and collecting new cards. But all the enemies have some kind of like special mechanic that's only for that enemy, and it plays like a puzzle game, and it's really cool. It has a great story. Gwent. Okay,
They got a physical edition as well, didn't they? Gwent, they actually like released
Yeah.
actual cards. I didn't know that.
Cards, yeah.
Yeah.
I think quite recent. I think in the last
They
year.
did, yeah. I think they also had like a Gwent board with the Hearts of Stone limited edition, because I think I have it somewhere in a cupboard.
You don't. Sorry, this is a game you don't like playing in the
I like
video
The Witcher.
game, and you bought the physical version of it just to have it.
Classic. And then Machine Strike, I love. Machine Strike's so good, and nobody else thinks so. Not just you two, the world. The world disagrees.
I did, because I reviewed Forbidden West as well, and I just really struggled with it. Usually a lot of these games I understand, and then I'm just not great at them. Like Tycoon, and one we didn't mention, could have been in the quiz, would have given me a point, because that's Persona 5 Royale, which George would not have known. So, yeah, Machine Strike.
I feel like
just
I
complicated.
never totally understood Fort Condor, even though I beat all the quests that had it. I feel like I didn't totally get how it worked.
I was reacting to, because it's like tower defense, basically. I felt like I was reacting to things a lot of the time, and then just, if you fail, you just retry and then you get lucky.
I like Machine Strike because it's a tactics game that really relies on the shape and the layout of the battlefield. Like that, it has a big influence on the tactics, and it feels like a cool evolution of like the push. I love tactics games that have a good push where you can knock an enemy into a trap or off the map or whatever. Clever game. So much more. So speaking of poker, from Mario 64 DS, we also had poker in Red Dead 2,
Yes.
which I quite enjoyed.
Five Finger Fillet is my favorite.
Five Finger Fillet, Dominoes.
Why are those so fun? It's just the atmosphere, right? It just like you just want to settle into it, and it really comes to life.
And
Liar's Dice. That's a really good one, because you have to do that for one of Liar's Dice. You have to do it for one of the outfits. I think it's the Bandito. Like you just get like a big hat.
I will have done it. I've like 100% read it apart from the hunting stuff, because I never bothered with it. But I've and it didn't get dinosaur bones either, actually. So I haven't even close to 100% of it, about 80% of it. But I will have played that game, is the point I'm making. I don't remember it, though.
It's similar to, I think they have a version of it in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think it's a different dice game. They kind of work similarly. Like you're calling bluffs, saying what you have.
Well, they're all real life, aren't they? The ones in Red Dead, that's part of it. You're not learning a game they've made up to fit into the reality of like their world, which can sometimes be a little bit wonky. It's like, it's poker, and I know Judge is saying you still didn't really learn how to play poker, but Eric, I know you play poker a lot, so you're playing it, knowing the rules in a kind of the atmospheric environment. And money is kind of somewhat scarce in Red Dead, especially at the start of the game, but it's also it's not like a massively high stakes. A really good balance of kind of like in real life when you play with friends, you are losing money, but not to the point where it's detrimental, but to the point where it matters if you don't win.
Yeah.
So I think it does that quite well. And more so with dominoes, it's often individual, so you get more conversations. It's no different really than cycling through dialogue, except there's something else to think about, and that maybe gives you a little bit more control over things.
And it's just so quintessentially Western too.
Yes.
It's just such an essential part of that like Western experience. You
could get a suit
great.
in the first one. I don't think it was in the second one, where if he wore a special suit, John would cheat a card.
The elegant suit,
Yeah, it was. You could like palm aces.
Yeah, I don't think that
funny.
was in the second one. That's right. I don't know if you could just naturally cheat, but you definitely didn't have a suit for it. I guess it kind of changed. They changed how they did outfits anyway, so it wouldn't really have mattered.
Yeah, the outfits were completely different in too. But yeah, definitely the whole Western vibe, because you could like you'd play in camp, you could just stumble into games in taverns and saloons and stuff as well,
Yeah.
or just in barns.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool way to do the world.
Poker and stuff in GTA? Like, I'm certain you can, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure there's poker, but you can do actual card games and casinos and things.
Yeah.
I mean, GTA's got loads of cool mini games, but I don't really remember any from 5. Like, golf is the first thing that jumps to mind, and that's kind of
Golf.
sad.
There's a roulette, isn't there, in the casino? You can play roulette.
You can definitely do that in GTA Online. I don't know if they
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Cube 3D from GTA 4?
GTA 4, yeah, I didn't understand it at all. But bowling was good. I like bowling.
Bowling in the darts.
I wrote down like GTA ones, and now I'm looking back at them. I'm just like, was that even in that?
Sleeping Dogs had a load as well. Actually, well, on GTA, like Sleeping Dogs had a load of really cool ones like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is sort of where, do you count a Fight Club as a mini game, or would that be a side quest? Because they're kind of, that's just the base game mechanics being taken into an arena, right?
But so is Genki Ball. There was not much different in Genki Ball. Like there was a time and there was a scoreboard, which I guess you don't have in the fight and stuff. But like it was part of it. And other games do it differently, because Assassin's Creed and Indiana Jones, they're specific mini games, I would say. I know there's a quest around like getting inside the club for Indy, but they distinct from what you're normally doing, like a break from doing the main missions. But the problem with GTA is everything's
mechanically, right? Because you're just punching Nazis.
Yes.
That is a tricky one. I thought about the shooting gallery in Resident Evil 4, but it's just like, well,
the pirates,
that.
But you are just shooting things. Like that's what you're just doing, something you do in Resident Evil 4 with different kinds of targets.
It's a tough one, isn't it? The definition.
I think the shooting gallery counts because it's so cartoonish. It's so removed from the usual kind of shooting where it's like conserve every bullet. This feels a lot more like free.
You're doing it for points as well. Like the Mercenaries, that's a good one. That is absolutely a mini game. Oh no, that's kind of a game mode, though, isn't it?
I think that's a mode.
So I included that with Call of Duty Zombies.
And
I would almost argue that the original Zombies was a mini game, but it has evolved into a game mode.
Yeah, the first version of it like was just kind of a fun thing they chucked in. So I think even by
but where's the line?
Yeah, true. That's tough.
Yeah. Can we circle back to Pokemon slot machines?
Yes.
If we must.
How bizarre
so strange.
are Pokemon slot machines? Not only is it like from like an ethical point of view, right? But like it's not as though Japan is known for its casinos. It's known for its arcades, which are basically casinos. But they didn't choose arcade. Like it's not claw machines.
No, there's no gacha upon like.
There's no gacha.
Things.
Yeah, it's literally slot machines.
It's one on
Which
bandits.
Pokemon is this? You're gonna have to remind me because
the very first one in Red and Blue.
Really?
In Red and Blue, there was a slot. I know it's in a few. Goldenrod's got a huge one in Gold and Silver.
Yeah,
but there was some Pokemon you could only catch by going to the casino. Like if you had to go as part of the main story to get a coin case, to put your winnings in. And then you had to save up those coins to buy. You could buy a Scyther, you could buy a Porygon. So only way to get Porygon
it's
in the
the
game.
only way to get Porygon, yeah. And you could get Abra, which was so hard to get otherwise. You could get Fairy. It was like the better way to get a lot of Pokemon was to play a slot machine.
I think I had Yellow. If it was in Yellow, then
it was in Yellow. Yeah, Yellow was just Red and Blue, but Pikachu follows you around.
Yeah. Been a very long time.
But they got rid of when they did Let's Go. It wasn't there.
What did they replace it with?
There was still the coin case bit, but I don't think you could play. There was something different in Let's Go that you couldn't engage with the actual gambling of it. That was the same city where the guy used to look in the window at all and say, "Oh, there's so many pretty ladies," and then you when you go, "Oh, there's so many strong trainers." Like, sure there is, Grandpa. Sure, that's why you're staring in the window,
just leering at strong trainers,
hiding in the bushes.
We used to be a society.
It's good stuff. Here's a cute one: playing Crash in Uncharted 4.
Yeah,
it's funny because what you're playing is not a mini game, but in the context of Uncharted, it is.
Yeah. Because they did that from scratch. I remember reading up on it when it happened. Like they had to remake a lot of that. Like it wasn't just obviously that's kind of supposed to be a section from the first Boulder Chase level, but I think they just had to redo it all.
Yeah.
I might be making that up. I'm pretty sure that's true. Maybe don't trust me.
Fact check us. Oh boy, still got a lot more. Bully has a lot of great mini games. Any favorites?
Go-kart racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go-kart racing is good.
Yeah, me too.
The slingshot aiming ones, those are good. Or is that a mission? I'm thinking of when you're in a tree, when you're shooting at the nerds.
I think that's a mission, but I think you can replay like other versions of that. I mean, you do a mission, then you unlock it, then you get to play it.
Get a high score.
I think
there was a soccer mini game in Bully as well.
You both said soccer.
Yeah.
Just for my benefit.
Just for the benefit of American ears.
The guitar in The Last of Us 2.
Oh, I didn't think of that as being a mini game, but you're right. That's really cool. And then there's the piano in Final Fantasy, which is the same, but it's a piano.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't want to get onto definitions again because I'm sure it's boring.
Yeah, you do.
Two. But in The Last of Us, there's no real tangible benefit to doing the mini game. It's more like an interactable. Game. Yeah, it's like an interactable, whereas the piano is you are scored, you get
it's a toy.
Bonuses. It's a toy.
Yeah, but I prefer the guitar, though. I know that's not how the definitions work. I think you're right. It's more gamified in Final Fantasy, but I think The Last of Us taking that away makes it a more enjoyable. Like, so someone who doesn't...
I prefer it as well.
Can barely play guitar and can't play piano at all. Like, I don't have any really musical gift going into this. I do like the guitar bit better. Maybe it's just an instrument I enjoy more. Maybe it's the emotion behind it. I don't know.
George, would you call it a mini game if it had a trophy?
No, I still think it's an interactable. Like, it's a really cool one.
What if it had a secret song that if you played, you got like a little cutscene or something? Would it be a mini game then? I'm trying to hone in on like what you
play Take On Me because that's what she plays in the
I was going to say there is a cutscene.
There
is the cutscene that you can get,
but that's different though. That's not for playing it back in the. You don't play that back where you can play the guitar. You have to go into a room where you're out with Dina, and Ellie will pick up. I think it's a different guitar, isn't it?
It is a different guitar.
Yeah,
it's the guitar
on the
store.
Road. Yeah,
love that scene. I think my distinction would be if it's either. I don't know. It is really tough. I think
is the score a big factor for a score or a time or some kind of?
Yeah, I think that kind of to me defines it as a mini game rather than something you can muck around with to no benefit.
I feel similarly that I wouldn't count the guitar.
That's not to bin off messing around with stuff for no benefit. Like that's kind of just for fun. That's great, but I think the distinction for me lies there.
But also, if it can't be the main thing in the game. So both ends of this you're against because Mario Party doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess I'm very particular about my mini games. Is what we're learning
basically
today.
Not party game. I think no party games probably is fine.
Yeah.
Until you picked a Mario Party game.
Yeah.
All but name.
Well, okay. Here's another one that's on the line. What about UGC? Like my example is custom maps in Overwatch. I'm a big fan of Genji Ball. I'm sure you
yes, I've played that. Yeah,
have you played Genji Ball?
I thought it had Lucio in it.
So Lucio Ball is
Lucio
an
Ball
actual
exists.
game mode.
Blizzard made that.
Genji Ball is a player-created game mode where there's ball and everybody's Genji. You've got like 30 Genjis. And you have to deflect the ball when it comes to you. And every time someone deflects the ball, it gets faster. And so the ball's just like whipping all around the map. And all the Genjis are trying to bounce it back and forth. And if it hits you, it explodes and you're out. So you keep playing until there's only one Genji left.
That's cool.
So it's like a hot potato, but
yes,
a massive soccer ball and ninjas.
Yeah. So yeah, like any game that had, I mean, Roblox, right? Or Minecraft, any game that has user-generated content. It's filled with mini games, right? Those count, George? Right?
I don't want to sound corporate here, but I think they're more like to me they sound more like experiences, within a.
Oh, come on! There's a winner of Genji Ball.
Genji Ball definitely is a game, I don't think everything created in Roblox is a minigame. I think they are games within Roblox. I know games within games is what a minigame is, but I think Roblox for me would come under the same category as Dreams. It is an engine that exists to make games, and therefore the things that are made in them are only mini if the person makes them small.
But there is a Roblox game as well, right? It's not Roblox isn't just the stuff players
Actually,
create.
Roblox kind of is. I don't think that it has its own thing, does it?
It doesn't. All right.
I think it's just a bunch
maybe
of...
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think it's just like a kind of empty metaverse thing. Like you can go around in it, but there's not really activity. I'm not an expert on Roblox.
Yeah, I don't know.
Minecraft though is different because Minecraft, like Overwatch,
Minecraft is different.
is its own game. So things created in Minecraft I'd be more likely to say are mini games.
Did you guys ever play Club Penguin?
I'm a little bit too old.
See, that's perfect, because that is a social hub, sort of like Roblox, but that has defined minigames. So you have like a card game that's in a dojo, you have like a minecart riding game, you have an underwater one.
Yeah, Bebo and Have a Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And there was the one that looked like Funko Pops. They had really freaky eyes. I always mention it, and I always forget what it was called. They looked like Bratz crossed with Funkos, and I really loved it. Can't remember what the hell it was called.
You have mentioned this before.
Loads of times, yeah. I spent a lot of my time when I was a kid, like, this is what my gaming was, just wandering around this thing. It was so strange.
You cannot remember the name of.
Cannot remember it at all. It wasn't called Fun Time, but it was something like that.
Pop Tropica?
No, it's a
I think
different
I've
thing.
said that last time you've mentioned this, I went Pop Tropica. That's another one that's like a social hub, but then has mini games. See, we're finding the definition.
Telling. More. How about Snake Escape? George, blank stare. Ape Escape 2's Snake Escape?
Oh,
is that the Tony Hawk sort of like skateboarding one?
No, this is
No.
the Metal Gear Solid.
because then they had that, and then in Metal Gear they had Ape Escape.
And then in Snake Eater they had
called.
Ape Escape. Yeah, they both had their own crossovers.
There was a Metal Gear game inside Ape Escape, and there was an Ape Escape game inside Metal Gear.
George is about to tell me that doesn't count.
No, I'm not. I was thinking, which game is it where you can? It basically is a Tony Hawk mode.
What game has a Tony Hawk mode?
No. Metal Gear Solid has one of them has a Metal Gear
2.
Tony, yeah, there you go.
2 has skateboarding stuff.
Yeah.
You know what else has a skateboarding minigame?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Spyro Year of the Dragon.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I think I do that too much in the show, but yeah, I was going to say Spyro. Spyro's skating game is great, except in Reignited, the final race is terrible. Because the speed doesn't work the same. So they kept the same time, but they made the board slower, so it's easier to control.
Oh, right.
But they haven't changed the time, so it's really hard to get enough speed to actually get the final orb or gem or whatever it is you need.
The dragon egg.
Dragon egg, yes. It's eggs and then you have the dragon.
Love that. Spyro's got lots of mini games. Would you say that the other characters you play in Spyro are mini games?
No.
No?
No, that's just other playable characters.
But their levels are so, their levels are so specific to their characters. They're not like the rest of the game. Like that, or like the Sparks levels that are like twin stick shooters.
The Sparks levels definitely are. Definitely the Sparks levels are. The other ones, I think it probably depends because some of them are just kind of levels. But the one where you're Benji and you've got to do the boxing, that's a minigame because you have to do something different. The one where you're Agent 9, you've got to run through the tropical map. It's just kind of a level.
But it's like a third-person shooter.
Yeah, the play is completely differently. I'm not sure if I would say it's a mini game or just it's a little bit like It Takes Two, where are they all mini games because they're all different, or are the specific mini games that you go off to the side? Are they?
They are mini games. Yeah,
the ones off to the side are. But when it changes genre, it's not like a Diablo mini game. It's just this bit is Diablo.
Yep.
That's how I feel about stuff like Agent 9.
I knew we were going to be so annoying in this episode. I knew this was going to be the most annoying episode. I'm so happy right now. The Quark vid comics from
they're on my list.
Ratchet and Clank 3.
They were cool.
Love those. Wish that was a game. I wish Quark just had a platformer. Do you remember those, Stacey?
I played Ratchet and Clank. I'm struggling to remember that.
he had a side-scrolling platformer. Like it would like retell his story, but it was like his version of.
Oh yes.
And he had like a massive fist when you punched, which I always loved.
Fun, very well done. Oh, we were talking a little bit about MMOs earlier, and MMOs are filled with stuff like this. The one I singled out was Pet Battle in World of Warcraft, which is just World of Warcraft's Pokemon. But it's fun that it's evolved so much. It's such an important part of that game for a lot of people that when new expansions come out, some people are really only interested in what the new pets are going to be.
Jesus.
Yeah, and
I've seen. Are they similar to mounts? Are the pets the same as mounts in that game?
No. Pets follow you around. Like
they're much smaller.
Yeah, and you battle them just like Pokemon, and you train them, level them up, give them new abilities. There's like a full Pokemon game within World of Warcraft.
Is there a casino?
With other people. I'm sure there's been a casino at some point. I can't remember though. How about Super Turbo Turkey Puncher? Am I right?
No idea.
I feel like this is going to be
no idea.
No.
This is a Doom thing. This started in Doom 3 had Super Turbo Turkey Puncher 3, and then Doom 2016 had Super Turbo Turkey Puncher 4, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. It's a game where you punch turkeys. I don't know why. I don't know what the joke is. Maybe it's just some weird inside joke.
Probably.
Yeah.
But it's
I guess a lot of games are about kicking chickens, so it's like one better than
that's true. Yeah, it's first person, and there's just a static turkey, and you punch it as many times as you can until it explodes. Does anyone have a favorite hacking minigame?
Ooh, that is a tough one.
This is a really, really strange one. It just came out last year. What's it called? Oh my god. WayForward made it, and it was a remake of the game from the 80s that was called Zarxus or something. Mm-hmm. They had a hacking minigame that was all based on different games from like 80s video games. So you had to play like Pong, or you had to play Galaga. And you were inside a machine, so you had to do that. What was it called?
I don't know.
While Stacey finds that out, I'm going to say Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
Oh, tell us about it.
I can't remember it, but I remember liking it. It's the first one that pops into my head. I'm pretty sure you had to find like a word within words. I feel like maybe that's underselling it, but that's all you're gonna get.
I've always liked BioShock's little pipe mania.
Ugh.
Come on, those. Come on. Well, look, they're overdone now. By the time they were doing it in Spider-Man, I was like, okay.
Spider-Man ones suck.
All right,
it was called Yars Rising.
Oh,
and it was from
I remember Yars Rising.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there we go.
Don't remember. Fallout's is pretty iconic. Little word search.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of Fallout.
Game.
Yeah,
Batman?
I'm definitely thinking of Fallout.
Batman had a great one.
Oh, yeah. The spinning the circles.
Spinning the circle. There was either the word would come up or you'd have the radio signal.
Yeah.
Yep. And I also included Google Atari Breakout. You know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
If you Google Atari Breakout, you just play Breakout in your browser.
Hang on.
Sort of similar to like the dinosaur game when you don't have internet.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, he's playing Breakout now. It's a mini game for your life.
You've lost me.
The diversion is not from a game, but from real life. And all of a sudden you're playing a mini game.
Wow.
How about that?
We are kind of running long for the episode, so I don't want to keep going on about things. We have mentioned Yakuza, and Yakuza has a bunch of brilliant ones. Karaoke, the most obvious one.
Crazy Delivery
and the new one. Yeah, Dondogo Island, Sujimons.
Yeah.
I nearly picked that. I nearly picked
Sicko
Dondogo
Snap.
Island.
That's a good one.
Yes, Sicko Snap's a brilliant one, but it's Pokemon Snap, but guys in their underwear.
Just Yakuza
even the smaller ones, the dart stuff's really cool.
Here we go. Here's a good definition that I'll quickly posit. Are the arcade games within Yakuza mini games?
Yes.
In the context of Yakuza, yes, they are. I think they are.
So why isn't Crash
in
Uncharted? You don't know. Okay.
Yeah, because all these things you're mentioning are just other, like, this mini game is just Crazy Taxi, but Crazy Taxi is a game. And this mini game's
Yeah.
just Pokemon Snap, but Pokemon Snap
Animal
is
Crossing. Gone to go well, it's just Animal Crossing.
yeah.
this needs a whole other thing about the definition of minigame.
We've
And I'm
broken
not doing it
George's
anymore.
brain with this episode.
I still
Very
hate Mario
good.
Party.
Very good. Any other favorites?
I don't think so.
No, I think I picked all of mine.
We
This
some of
is-
them in the thing as well, the quiz.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
2. Kingdom Hearts 2 has some great ones. The 100 Acre Woods, best iteration of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of all the poo stuff. You're right.
Yeah, all the poo.
All the poo.
Those are the
Yeah.
best mini games of Kingdom Hearts. And then in the third Kingdom Hearts, they're all crap. All bad.
What's the big one in Kingdom Hearts 3? Oh,
It's like the match flowers one. That's all you do in that one.
not poo, but
Oh, you have the digital
Rex.
kingdom as well. Oh, Verum Rex.
Verum Rex. Yeah.
Yeah, that is not fun. Like, it's a cool idea, and it's surprisingly detailed for what it is, but yeah, give me Winnie the Pooh bouncing on Tigger all day long.
Yeah. Give me the poo.
Give me the Pooh.
All right, on that note, thank you so much for joining us this week for your favorite game. Those are our favorite games with minigames, but we would love to know your favorite games with minigames too. So leave us a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and visit us at thegamer.com. That's The Gamer. No spaces.